welcome back to the Team to Beat Miami Heat podcast. My name is Amir. Thanks for watching the podcast on Apple and Spotify. Also, thank you for watching the podcast on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube currently, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. So the Miami Heat are tied with the Boston Celtics 1-1. They have stolen home court advantage without Jimmy Butler, without Terry Rozier, and with a compromised Duncan Robinson. So Miami are coming off a huge Game 2 victory on the road against the Celtics. They were 14.5-point underdogs, and they ended up winning by 10, which is ridiculous. So they won 111 to 101, hit 23 threes, franchise record, and that kept the Miami Heat afloat, as well as their defense. They held the Boston Celtics to 40 points in the second half at home. The Miami Heat are the fifth-ranked defense in the regular season, so they are definitely relying on their defense, and they must rely on that defense during this postseason. And they did a great job. They allowed Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown to have their one-on-one matchups, and they did expose Tyler Hero or Duncan Robinson and a few others at times. And they did score 32 and 28 points respectively. But the free-flowing offense, the number one offensive rated team in the NBA, the Celtics did have trouble activating Porzingis, who was 1 for 9. Derek White kind of was quiet for most of the game until the fourth quarter, hit a couple big shots, but he had 13 points. And we didn't let the others really beat us. So we didn't double team early like we did in game 1. So Spo made some really good adjustments, and he made sure that they played Tatum and Brown specifically straight up. Obviously, there were moments where they had to help and rotate, but in general, they just let those two guys cook, and they made sure that Porzingis and White and Pritchard and everybody else didn't get wide open threes like they did in game 1, and that really worked. So the Miami Heat's other adjustment was shooting a ton of threes. They didn't shoot many in the first game. They were 5 for like 20 something or 30 something. I forgot it was, but they ended up shooting way more threes in this game and hit 23. They shot over 50% from three, which is ridiculous in the playoffs. And that ultimately, along with their great second half defense, helped the Miami Heat steal home court advantage, which is unreal. So anyway, game 3 tomorrow at Kaseya Center. I'm actually going to be flying to Miami tonight on a red eye. So want to get this video out for you guys, and I will be at both of the games. So super excited to see this Miami Heat team possibly shock the world. And yeah, I hope they get at least one of the two. I'm hoping and thinking they will. My original prediction was Celtics in 5, but this team is fraudulent, and we have the best coach in the NBA and Eric Spoelstra, the best tactician, best strategist, and who knows, honestly, at this point. But the Celtics, number 1 rated offense, number 2 defense, could smack the Miami Heat in the face. But I'm hoping we at least split and we take this to a 6 to 7 game series, which would be impressive. And if the Miami Heat do beat the Celtics in this series, which I don't know if it's possible, it's not impossible, but this would be the biggest upset in NBA history in the first round. Only 6 teams have ever won as the 8th seed. Miami Heat did that last year. They're one of the 6, but this would be ridiculous without Jimmy Butler. So going into game 3, just want to share some other news real quick. Just received some bad news that Terry Rozier is going to be, in fact, out for game 3, which is super unfortunate. And I'm pretty bummed because after stealing home court and getting that huge victory, it definitely would have been beneficial to have Terry Rozier at home as another 3-level scorer and someone who can create their own shot. Because right now the Miami Heat are really depending on Bam Adebayo and Tyler Hero to carry this team, and they did both offensively last game. Bam had 21 points, played really well, hit some huge shots in the post and mid-range to keep the Miami Heat ahead. And Tyler Hero had a really good game, one of his best games in the playoffs in his career, 24 points, 14 assists. He was being selective with the shots, wasn't taking too many difficult circus-type shots that he likes to take normally, wasn't forcing it, and was playing that pick and roll really well with Bam at times. But Boston, I think, is going to focus on trying to shut down that 2-man game and that pick and roll action with Bam and Tyler. And he's probably going to, or he, as in Missoula, is probably going to do the same strategy, I would say, is just think, hey, we got to double team Bam Adebayo when we can. We got to put pressure on Tyler Hero and we have to allow the rookies, the kids, basically Jovic and Hawkes, and then even Caleb Martin and the Haywood Highsmiths of the team, the DeLon Wrights, beat them again by shooting threes. So I think they're not going to give us wide open threes. We had 20 something wide open shots. It felt like in that last game, but I think they're going to do a better job of running us off the line. But I think they're going to live with allowing the Miami Heat to shoot threes. So if they do run the Miami Heat off the line, I think there's some different actions that Tyler Hero can do potentially off ball that can help get him open, as well as a few other players. So I think some post splits can definitely be helpful. Golden State likes to do that a lot with Draymond Green. So using Bam as the anchor in the post, having Tyler pass the ball to Bam in the post, get a screen basically at the 3-point line from one of the wing players and attack, like cutting to the rim could be one option, or getting a kind of like a flare screen from the post splits and getting Tyler open for a 3-point shot. So Bam obviously is one of the best playmakers on the team. So I think focusing on post splits could be good. Some flare screens again for Duncan Robinson if he's mobile. Right now, it looks like he's obviously compromised. He hasn't been moving like himself, hasn't been playing as many minutes as he normally would. And that's a huge blow, especially with Terry Rozier out. And of course, Jimmy Butler, who's probably going to miss the entire series because he is going to be out at least 4 weeks. He's only been out a week or so. And this series will end in 10 days or whatever it may be. So yeah, it's huge, huge news that he's not going to come back. Especially pissed because I'm going to be at the game. So hopefully I get to see Terry on Monday since I'll be going to both games. And we definitely need him. We desperately need him. But other guys need to continue to step up right now. So Jaime, they're going to give him that 3-point shot. You know, he hasn't been the best 3-point shooter. Same with Haywood. He's been streaky. Even Caleb, but for some reason, Caleb, you know, he didn't have a good game in game one. He only had 4 points, but in game two, 21 points, 6 for 7 from three, was attacking the rim and looked athletic and engaged and aggressive. It was wonderful to see. And, you know, he needs to show up. He needs to show out. Like he's trying to get that contract. One of the NBA insiders basically was saying they think he can go from his 6 or 7 million that he got this season to 13 million per season. That's somewhere around the same amount of money that like a Royce O'Neal or a Finney Smith or that type of, you know, role player can get. But either way, he plays really well against the Celtics all the time, which is wonderful to see. His career in the playoffs against the Celtics, he's shooting 47% from three. So Caleb tends to show up against the Celtics. Against other teams, he's like 35%. So that drops down significantly. So we need Tyler to be a huge X factor. Anything we can get from Jovic, I think, is going to be beneficial right now. We had 10 points the first game, 11 points the second, but he's getting rebounds. He's facilitating, getting some blocks, playing really good defense. He's going to probably match up again with Porzingis so they can allow Bam to play against a Tatum, possibly, or a Brown or Horford when he comes in off the bench. But either way, I think the Miami Heat need to continue their strategy, but I think they might even throw that out the window and try to do something new. We had Ethan Jay Skolnick from the 5 Reasons Sports Network on the pod yesterday, and he was saying the Miami Heat are being cliche, taking this one game at a time. And so you never know, and you never can expect what Spo is going to throw at them. Like zone killed us in game one. Porzingis destroyed us as the focal point. And he was at the free throw line around the nail area. Receiving passes there and finding his teammates on the perimeter, and they hit a bunch of threes, as we know, in game one. So I wouldn't be shocked if, like, in one possession, they do some sort of zone and then they switch to man and they blitz or even double team. Who the hell knows? Spo's a mad scientist. We'll see what he does. But I think we want to try to have a similar strategy defensively where we let the Jays beat us one-on-one and take some tough shots potentially. We know they're going to score and get theirs. So as long as we can contain Porzingis and White and players like that, then I think that would be a good strategy. So either way, I'm excited that the Miami Heat now are heading home with home court advantage. They were a better road team than home team. As we saw, they just stole one on the road. So I'm just hoping that the Kaseya Center is rocking hard and this Miami Heat team has nothing to lose. They're playing with house money at this point. They're expected to lose. They're the 8th seed and 2 of their best players are hurt. And one of their best bench players in Duncan Robinson is not himself. So if we can win one of these games, don't let us get one. They already did. Don't let us get two. We know Jimmy was trolling. And if they can win this game three, it's going to be electric. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be hilarious to see the Boston Celtics panic. And they should have kept Udoka, because they probably would be winning championships with him, because you saw what he's done in his first season with the Rockets. So anyway, that's all I have for this video. I will try to post some content while I'm in Miami, hopefully get some game footage from the playoffs, and hopefully we'll have some more guests on the roundtable. And we do have a few folks that we're trying to get on, that we're networking with. And so there are going to be a few special guests probably coming up, either this weekend or the next week. So thanks again for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Have a good one.